Hey, beautiful friends, and welcome back to Faithfully Forward, where we laugh, learn, and lean into God's goodness together. I'm your host, Savannah Greene, and today we're diving into something we all wrestle with: trusting God's timing. Yep, even when it feels like watching a pot that just refuses to boil. So, story time. I once prayed every single day for a local teaching job right by my house that I really, really wanted. I basically was sending God hourly memos like, hey, just checking in, still waiting on that open door. But you know what? That door never opened. And guess what? Looking back now, I can clearly see that if I had, I would have been absolutely miserable. I was reminded of Isaiah 60:22, New International Version, where God says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Not maybe, not if you bug me enough, but I will make it happen." It is so good that we have a God that we can trust in that way. Dr. Richard Swenson, in his book Margin: Restoring Emotional, Physical, Financial, and Time Reserves to Overload Lives, 1992, talks about how humans are wired to crave control and waiting messes with our sense of security. But Swenson reminds us that margin, that space of trust and patience, is where real peace grows. And guess what else? Even secular studies show that delayed gratification, waiting for the right thing at the right time, leads to higher happiness and success. Mitchell 2014. God's timing doesn't just grow our faith, it actually blesses our whole lives. Here's a little visual for you. Trusting God's timing is kind of like baking a cake. You could crank the oven to 500 degrees and hope it cooks faster, but it would just burn to a crisp. Sometimes God keeps us at a slow bake because He's preparing something way better than we could whip up on our own. Author Lysa TerKeurst once said in her book, "It's Not Supposed to Be This Way," 2018, sometimes rejection is actually God's way of protecting us from something we can't yet see. Isn't that so comforting? What feels like a not yet is often not this, from a loving Father who sees the full picture. So, friend, if you're in the waiting room of life right now, sitting there, tapping your foot, wondering if God has forgotten you, take a deep breath. He hasn't. He's preparing you and preparing the blessing. Trust the slow bake. Trust the timing. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and that concludes today's episode of Faithfully Forward. If you've loved this chat, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who might need a little reminder that God's timeline is always on point. Until next time, keep trusting, keep hoping, and keep moving faithfully forward. Love you, friend.